Now, with the global climate in flux, does the situation call for domestic drilling sooner rather than later? Our next guest says delaying domestic energy production is hurting Americans when they can least afford it. He's former oil executive, now Congressman from Texas, Bill Flores. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Glad to be with you, Liz and Dave. How are things with y'all?
So, sir, do you think the president should have been talking about tapping the strategic petroleum reserves rather than discussing drilling and how we can boost our own production of oil here in the United States?
He should. I mean, tapping the strategic oil reserve is the wrong direction to go. That is for a severe supply disruption. It wasn't intended to try to mitigate price impact of unease in other parts of the world. What we need to be doing is securing our own energy future. Look, this is a matter of national security, of creating a strong economy, of creating an environment where we can grow good-paying American jobs. This transcends gasoline prices. This is trying to create a future that we'd be proud to give to our kids and our grandkids.
Congressman, the president actually quoted oil and gas man Boone Pickens to try to prove his point today. Let me play that clip and get your response.
T. Boone Pickens, who made his fortune in the oil business, and I don't think anybody would consider him unfriendly to drilling, was right when he said that this is one emergency we can't drill our way out of. We can't place our long-term bets on a finite resources that we only control 2% of.
Now, Congressman, Liz and I had Boone Pickens on a couple of weeks ago, and he said, you know, we could become completely energy independent if the president and all the regulatory agencies just lifted all the bans they have on drilling, on coal, and on gas. So on one hand, he's quoting Boone Pickens, but Boone Pickens says he's being too tough on regs.
Well, one of the things the president did today is he took lots of pieces of comprehensive information and took pieces out of context. For instance, he said that oil production was actually up in the United States. Yes, it's up, but it's 16% below where we projected it would be right now back in 2007. And so we are relatively worse off under the policies of this administration because of drilling moratoria and regulatory overreach. And what we need to do is to use oil and gas as a bridge to a future that has a diverse portfolio of energy supplies. It includes nuclear, includes oil and gas, it includes alternatives like wind, solar, biofuels, and includes giving technology a chance to catch up to provide for greater conservation as well.
Congressman, is the White House perhaps in a pre-BP oil spill mindset that still drilling is unsafe despite the crackdown on the practices in the Gulf, and perhaps drilling in the Gulf could be possibly safer?
Well, drilling in the Gulf is for today that it was at the time the BP accident happened. I mean, for instance, we drilled thousands of wells in shallow water and hundreds of wells in deeper water without an accident. And the BP incident was very unfortunate that it happened. But it's been used as the scapegoat to try to push us ideologically away from a use of oil and gas, the resources that are in our own backyard. We've got to remember, the real strategic reserve in this country is the taxpayer-owned resources that sit under public lands or under our offshore waters. That's the reserve that would do the great benefit to us in terms of royalty income coming into the federal treasury to help us balance our debt and balance our deficits and pay off our federal debt.
Congressman Bill Flores from the great state of Texas, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you coming in.
Liz, David, best of y'all. Have a great weekend.